A wave of explosions ripped through Lebanon, spreading fear and chaos. The blasts, originating from seemingly ordinary communication devices like walkie-talkies and pagers, resulted in a horrifying death toll. At least 26 people lost their lives, including innocent children. Thousands more suffered injuries. The attacks struck at the heart of Lebanese society, with some explosions even occurring during funerals, amplifying the sense of shock and grief. The use of everyday devices as weapons sent shockwaves through the nation. The blasts shattered any illusion of safety, leaving people to grapple with a chilling reality. The targeting of funerals, a time of mourning and vulnerability, felt particularly cruel, adding another layer of trauma to an already devastated nation. The suddenness and brutality of the attacks left Lebanon reeling. Hospitals overflowed with casualties, struggling to provide care amidst the chaos. Families mourned their loved ones, grappling with the senselessness of it all. The attacks left an indelible mark on the national psyche, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace. The pager explosions plunged Lebanon into a state of profound uncertainty. The targeting of everyday devices sowed seeds of suspicion and fear, leaving people to wonder about the safety of even the most mundane aspects of their lives. The attack served as a chilling reminder of the ever-present threat of violence that casts a shadow over the nation. In the aftermath of the explosions, Hezbollah wasted no time in pointing the finger of blame. The organization directly accused Israel of orchestrating the attacks, alleging a deliberate act of aggression against Lebanon. This accusation immediately escalated tensions between the two long-standing adversaries, raising the specter of retaliation and further violence. Hezbollah's accusation carried significant weight given the group's history of conflict with Israel. The organization, a powerful force in Lebanese politics and society, commands a formidable military wing. Their accusation, delivered with unwavering certainty, resonated deeply with their supporters and fueled anxieties across the region. The accusation placed Israel in a delicate position. The international community, already alarmed by the attacks, watched closely for any response. The situation threatened to spiral out of control, with the potential for miscalculation or misinterpretation to spark a larger conflict. Hezbollah's swift and decisive accusations set the stage for a tense standoff. The international community braced itself, hoping for restraint and urging dialogue to prevent further bloodshed. The situation remained precarious, a powder keg awaiting a spark. In the face of Hezbollah's accusations, Israel responded with silence. The Israeli government refused to confirm or deny any involvement in the pager explosions. This silence, while infuriating to some, was a calculated strategy, consistent with Israel's long-standing policy of ambiguity in such situations. This strategy of ambiguity serves multiple purposes for Israel. By neither confirming nor denying involvement, they retain an element of unpredictability, keeping their adversaries guessing. This uncertainty can act as a deterrent, making enemies think twice before taking any action that might provoke a response. Furthermore, ambiguity allows Israel to avoid being drawn into a tit-for-tat cycle of violence. By not claiming responsibility for attacks, they make it more difficult for adversaries to justify retaliatory strikes. This approach aims to maintain a semblance of control in a volatile region where escalation can be swift and devastating. However, this silence also carries risks. It can be perceived as an admission of guilt by some, fueling further anger and mistrust. The lack of clear communication can also hinder efforts to de-escalate tensions, creating a vacuum that speculation and fear can fill. The international community reacted to the pager explosions with a mixture of horror and condemnation. Governments and organizations around the world expressed outrage at the attacks, offering condolences to the victims and their families. There were widespread calls for a thorough and impartial investigation to determine those responsible. The United Nations, through its various bodies, condemned the attacks, emphasizing the need to protect civilians in conflict zones. The UN Security Council called for restraint from all parties and urged a de-escalation of tensions. Human rights organizations echoed these sentiments, demanding accountability for any violations of international law. The demand for an independent investigation highlighted the global desire for justice and accountability. Many countries and organizations emphasized the importance of uncovering the truth behind the attacks, not just to bring the perpetrators to justice, but also to prevent future acts of violence. The international community's response underscored the global impact of the pager explosions. What happened in Lebanon resonated far beyond its borders, serving as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of peace and security in an increasingly volatile world.